because darling, that show is good. Okay. Now there's a gift that Young Miami 305 posted, I guess. And it's my first hookah. Now, Santa Claus, you playing too much. It's basically a hookah toy for kids. Exactly. It's so stupid. Um, but there is something. Now, oh my God, I'm so sad about this story. Nick Cannon reveals. First and foremost, Nick Cannon's son passes away. And I'm so sorry for that. I am so sorry. Nick Cannon's son passed away. And it bothered me. It bothered me. I have a 4-year-old child. And I have to tell you, if something happened to my 4-year-old child, I would lose my mind. Better yet, it's Nick Cannon has a baby. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for that, Nick Cannon. And Nick Cannon is one of, well, I wouldn't say my favorite, but he's on my top, especially that he has a show called Water Now that I am a fan of, and I loved Water Now. And Nick Cannon, I am so sorry. I am so sorry about that. That's so sad. And now, yesterday at approximately 1:15 p.m., okay, firefighters worked quickly to put out a fire that erupted inside Avenir at Walden Lakes apartment building located in Miami Gardens. Um, Miami-Dade fire rescue crews responded to the scene on the area of Northwest 210th Street and Ninth Place on Tuesday afternoon. No one was home when the fire began. Although a total of 23 people are unable to return home, 12 being children. The seven Skyforce, which is 7 News, hovered over the 3-story building that could be seen with heavy smoke and flames coming from the back structure. A family of 6 that lived on the second floor and the floor right under where the fire took place uh, are, 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 are just happy that they're safe. The residents didn't want to show their faces to anyone or want to talk to one or release their name, but they are so happy to be alive. I can just guarantee you, happy to be alive, especially during this holiday season. It's just amazing. Charges have been dropped against one of the men arrested in the Northwest Miami-Dade banquet hall shooting. So there was a banquet hall shooting in El Mullah banquet hall uh, a couple weeks ago. I think it was somewhere in May. One of the 3 men believed behind the shooting of that banquet hall is no longer being charged. Now, investigators said that the 3 suspects opened fire on a crowd outside of the banquet hall. On May 30th, 20 people were injured and 3 victims died following the shooting. 20-year-old Warnick Buckner was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 20 counts of attempted murder, but on Wednesday, prosecutors dropped the charges against him. The decision was made after they said the detective improperly got a confession from Buckner after he asked for an attorney. Now, prosecutors are saying that the confession could be considerable inadmissible evidence. The case reopened. The state said that Buckner could face other charges in the future as more evidence is uncovered. Isn't that some bull crap? That, you know what? I'm just tired of how America do black people. No one wants to talk about it. All these white people doing all these doggone crimes, but it's fine. Oh no, you don't have to do it. No, I'm tired of it. And something needs to be said. Now, I understand there's a lot of black on black crimes. I understand all of this is happening, and I take all that into consideration as well. But we need to get to a point, I'm so serious, whereas we need to do better for ourselves. We need to do way better and stop allowing these crackers. I said what I said, okay? Stop allowing these crackers to determine what we can and cannot do. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And the police, we don't have no time for room to mistake. There's so much things happening in our world, okay? For us to keep making mistakes. It just makes no sense. Oh, I'm going to charge him in. Oh, maybe the more that, things happen, oh, yeah, we get charged you later. We charge you. Either he did it or he did not do it. You make up your doggone mind, okay? You make up your doggone mind. God. Whoo, Travis Scott, child. The Astroworld stage is finally being broken down and hauled away after the tragedy that took place in Houston. Crews were hard at work Wednesday, dismantling the stage that continued to stand tall for 40 days after the deadly concert. There's a ton of crew members removing everything from lighting to video screen and structure of the Houston event. As for why it stayed up so long, law enforcement likely needed everything in place while they continued their investigation to what happened and what went wrong with the show's logistic and apparent lack of safety plan. As you know, the death toll from the Astroworld Festival reached 10 people, and there's massive lawsuits pending against Travis Scott and the concert promoters. Travis recently broke his silence on the tragedy, saying he didn't know the scope of the issue going on in the crowd, and claimed that the person in his ear never gave him a scene of urgency to immediately stop the show. But his interview did little to ease the pain of grieving family. Travis Scott, I have no words right now. I'm not even gonna say my opinion. Normally, I do say my opinion because y'all know me to be the pettiest, and I mean the pettiest mother in the world. But I'm not gonna give my opinion, and the reason I'm not gonna do it is because it's still ongoing, it's still investigating, and there's a lot of families probably listening right now that are grieving the pain. So I'm not going to make a joke out of this situation. 10 people lost their loved one. But Travis Scott, you need to do God doggone better, okay? Listen to me. Ben Affleck blames drinking on his ex-wife. You know what? Because he felt like he was trapped in his marriage. Listen, Ben Affleck said his marriage to his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, helped kickstart his alcohol. Claiming that he turned to booze to cope with his feeling trapped. The actor who's now with Jennifer Lopez didn't hold back while talking to Howard Stern about his drinking problem and his time with Jennifer Garner, which made he sound pretty dumb and miserable. Okay? Now he says that if they would stay together, they would have been they would have been at each other's throat, and not just that, but he even speculated if he was still married to her, he'll still be drinking. Here's another telling quote from Tuesday interview. He says, part of why I started drinking was because I was trapped. Then he adds, I was like, I can't leave because of my kids, but I'm not happy. What do I do? And I drank a bottle of scotch and fell asleep on the couch, which turned out not to be the solution anyway. Now, one of the surface, it's a pretty gelling statement from Ben to make concerning how supportive he is of Gardner, who threw his boots with the bottles. Families took him to rehab back in 2018 and remained a pillar for him, which is why Ben's comments are not being well received online. A lot of people are slamming him for even trying to connect his personal demons to her individually. Not Jen has time again and again been there for him when he relapsed. Listen, Jennifer, you are doing a good job. You're a good job, Jennifer. And Ben added that despite their best effort, they simply couldn't salvage their relationship and didn't want to be the model of the marriage for their children. And Ben also mentioned that their kids, while talking about rekindling things with J-Lo, telling Stern he thought twice about getting back with her, all because he feels his kids are his highest responsibility and concern about, inedible headlines. One last thing, while it might sound like Ben totally trashed his ex-wife, he ended up on some of a sweet note saying, because we did our best. I knew she was a good mom, and I hope she knew I was a good dad. I had to get sober and acknowledge that. Anyway. As said, it sounds like he and his ex-wife are in good terms now and have been for a while. Even with J-Lo around, which she was around for Halloween, this doesn't seem to be much animosity there these days. At least there wasn't before the interview with Stern. Listen, there's too much going on now. Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott are together. Very much a couple. Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott are indeed legitimate lovebirds. Something that's called into question via a leaked magazine story, which suggests the exact opposite. We'll be right back. W Magazine scrambled a link and a hard copy issue had to be mailed out. But clearly some of these made their way to